Okay, so these are always like really awkward for everybody, but I have like nothing else to do with my life, so I'm gonna vlog about the catastrophe that I had Thursday. I don't want to click that. Oh my god. So on Thursday I was meant to get my 12 train from college, and my friend wanted me to stay with her until she found someone that she found that was on free as well. But like my lesson finished at like 11:30, so I had ages, and then she couldn't find anyone, so she made me wait with her, and I was like, oh yeah, that's fine, I had like ages. And then I was like, okay, I have to go now, and I walked down, and like none of our phones were right, but we thought they were right, so we were like, oh, I'll have like 2 minutes. And I got to the platform, and the train was on the like platform, and I was like, I'll be fine. It's one of those really annoying ones where you can't get on and like buy your ticket. You have to like purchase your ticket, go through like a machine thing, and then go on like at the tube. So I was trying to like order really fast, and I was like, can I have a like single to a head end? And the guy was like so slow at like giving it to me, and then like the train pulled away, and he was like, you just missed that train, and I was like, I know. I was rushing for it, but okay. And then I asked him what time the next one was, and he like, there's like a mic here, and he like looked over and was like talking, and he was like looking at his watch and stuff, and I was like, and then she talked right into the mic, I cannot hear you. So I was just like, oh, okay, thanks. So then I had to do this like awkward turn around and stare at the board, which was like coming out of like all the time things. I don't know what they mean. I cannot read them to save my life. So I spent like 20 minutes stood there, and then I found out that my next train was at, well, what I thought was my next train was at 12:55. So I walked down to Winchester, got myself a nice Starbucks. I had a caramel cream frappuccino, and I had a donut and like a little sandwich, and I was like, oh, that's good. And then I walked back up, and I got there, and I went through the gate, and as I went through the gate, you know, the train that I thought it was meant to be, and it was like, this one goes through Southampton, and I was like, oh, it'll go through Hedge End. And like, when I looked at the times, it was like via like my house and things like that. So I was like, oh, okay, that's my train. And then I get on it, and it takes me to an airport, which I didn't know existed, and then it took me to the middle of Southampton. Meanwhile, my mum is waiting for me at my like little home village one. Oh, it's here. So like she's waiting for me at like my home village place, and I'm like, nice like maybe 45 minutes late, and then I phone her and I'm like, yeah, I got on the wrong train and I'm in the middle of Southampton. She was like, oh great. So she then had to drive for like 40 minutes to come and get me, and I was like, sorry, and she was like, oh, it's alright. So like, yeah, that was a catastrophe. So I wasn't really in the best mood when I got home. So yeah, so also when I arrived at the train station, I didn't realise that like my little like closest town was really like vamped up, I don't know, but like they had the mechanical like ticket things as well. Like, I didn't know so many places had that. I thought it was just like 1 or 2. So yeah, I had to climb the barrier to get out. That is how like drastically lost I was. Like my ticket, it wouldn't get accepted obviously because like it wasn't to the right destination. So then I was like trying to like flag up this guy, and there was this guy stood there like obviously waiting for someone or something. I was like, excuse me, sir, and I was really polite. And he kind of like looked at me kinder and was like this. I was like, sir, please, I like need you to get someone. And I don't know, I think he just thought that I was like gonna rob him or like wasn't paying on my tickets or something. Like seriously, I'm from Winchester, of course I do. I'm a good person. so yeah, that happened, and I was like, okay, so I had to like jump over the barrier, and I felt like beating this guy up. I was like, no, for the sake of Peter Simmons, I'm not going to. But yeah, and then what else happened? Alright, so I get home, and like, you know, nobody wants to take me down the yard yet, so I have to wait until like 5. Anyway, so then we got down the yard, and Annie had not jumped out of her paddock. She jumped out of the there's a paddock here. She jumped not into this paddock, but into the paddock which is like within that paddock. And yeah, my mum wasn't too happy about that. She was like, "Your horse, bam, 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 bam," and I was like, "Annie, yeah!" So that was fun. And then I rode her, and she was oh shit, and totally like she was actually going like insane. She's never, well, not recently, she hasn't been like that. Like I would probably say for like the last 6 months I haven't had any of that. So I was a bit like I kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like getting frustrated at myself and at her. So I'm kind of like not really in the best state of mind for riding. Like I just wanted to ride, and she was like pissed off and about. But yeah, so I got on and she was fine. She was like warming up nice. She was working into the bit nice, you know. She was like proper like being a good pony. And then I went on to the other rein, and I held like a long whip, because if I don't normally hold it, and I can never use it on her. But like at the moment, because she's fat, she's quite lazy, and like I was like, okay, I can just like tap her up with that. But because I was holding it, she then started to like, I went on the other rein and it touched her the ever so slightest, and she bolted down to like this fence, and then from that second onwards I couldn't do anything. She was just like she was just like spinning and like doing little rears and like bolting around, and like she'd like face one way and then like be running the other way, and she was like backing up everywhere, and it was just like really, really annoying. So my mum was like, oh well, she's obviously, I tried for about an hour, and then I was like, okay, if that isn't working. So my mum was like, oh, you might as well jump her, like take her in the jumping field and, you know, have a little bit of fun on her. Like if you can't get her to do what you want, or like she's not in the frame of mind to be schooling, just have a bit of fun with her, because like, you know, you're obviously both getting really frustrated with each other. So we went in there, and bearing in mind I normally have Annie in a Pessoa gag, which is a 3-ring gag. So you have your top ring, which you connect cheek piece to, like your snaffle ring, and then the lower ring. I put it on like the lower ring, or sometimes the snaffle ring, depending on how she is. But yeah, so I normally have her in the like ring below the snaffle ring, and that's kind of like as severe as I would go with Annie in terms of bits. Maybe cross country I'd have to get something harsher, but like in terms of jumping and like show jumping, fine. But yeah, so I went from normally jumping her in her little 3-ring gag to a full cheek snaffle, and I'm telling you now, she was so insane. Like I was getting like, I know, like I was getting over jumps and like everything like that, but like it was a challenge. And like it isn't like with the, it's just the speed that and like the strength that you cannot control. Like everything else you can turn her alright. Well, I can. Like you have to be pretty harsh with your hands, because she's just kind of like this, like going around like that. So but yeah, like you have to be pretty harsh with that, otherwise nothing's gonna happen, because she just thinks like any leg aid is gallop straight and like sideways and stuff. So yeah, so I kind of had a bit of fun with that, and I tried to like jump off turns and like done 3 little jumps, and I don't know, I'd probably say we went up to about 90 centimeters, so not really that big. But yeah, I just need to have a little bit of like vent time on her. But in the time that she was bolting me around, in the time that she was freaking out about her water trough out in the field and started like running around, and she ran me into a fence. That was fun. and in the time that I had no control when the legs were flailing when we were jumping, she managed to rip off a shoe. And I don't know how she does it, but she always rips off her hind right. So I have no idea how she does it, because like, it's not even like a front one. But yeah, she rips that off, and I was like, oh my god, because my parents literally just paid £40 on show entries for Pink Meat Show. So I was kind of there like, fuck. And I don't know about where you all live, but here, down south, farriers come out like maybe to our area once a week, maybe once every 1 or 2 weeks, sometimes even 3 weeks. So I was like, oh my god, no farrier is gonna fit me in for tomorrow on such short notice to put a shoe back on one pony. Like, and we can't even find the shoe, that's the worst bit, so they like have to manufacture like a new shoe. So I was like, oh god. But my mum phoned up our farrier and like explained everything, and he was like, and I think she was saying it, and he was like, I'll see when it's free, and she was like, yeah, because you know, I think he was kind of upset because she had like a show on Sunday and we'd paid for it and everything, and he was like, I'll come down tomorrow then, and I was like, oh my god. So yeah, he put the shoe back on, and then my parents had gone off to their wedding and things like that, so that was the catastrophe of my Thursday. And yeah, but otherwise my week has been alright. Like, I haven't really seen the pony at all, so kind of like having a shit week in terms of that. But like, my whole life has been like consumed by college now. Like, I really don't do anything else, so it's kind of like a bit rubbish on that front. But on Monday, equestrian team starts at college, so I can start like competing for the team and stuff, so that'll be fun. But yeah, so that's peak. I've been talking for like 12 minutes. I don't really think I have anything left to say. But I think everybody needs to... No, there's nothing. Okay, right, so I'm kind of like out of stuff. Oh! No. I'm gonna make an event on Facebook. And I know it's really late notice, but it's more or less like people in the Hampshire area, or like Persian, Worcester, Botley, whatever. I want to meet like, okay, I want to like find out who's in my area, so I'm gonna make a YouTube meet for the show I'm going to on Sunday, and then invite everyone, and then see who turns up, because I want to like meet YouTubers, and like, not really like YouTubers who, I mean, like, that's nice, but I want to meet like people in my area, because I don't know anyone in my area that rides, apart from Diana and Carmen and Kaylee, but like nobody else. I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, that's how tops it is. So yeah, that's that. And I don't really, so yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then I don't really have anything else to say, so I don't really know why I told you I'm gonna make like a meet up, because it's not even relevant. I have a job interview I have somebody buying my show jacket, well, one of my show jackets, in half an hour, and then I have my work at 12, and then I finish at 3, so I work for like hardly any time at all. I don't even know why I bother, but I finish at 3, and then I have to cycle down the yard and wash Annie and plait her up, and then I cannot even fathom how, like, I have to pretty much do my show preparation after I've been to work, and I like cycle down the yard, and it takes like an hour to cycle there, and then they're crazy. But yeah, it's been like almost 15 minutes, so I'm going to stop recording now. Yeah, so enjoy my talking, and if you get this far, you don't get any of like with stuff that YouTubers say, like, you get free cookie, don't claim your cookie. Shut up. Anyway, I'm kind of like rambling now, so I'll see y'all later.